Shadows dancing in the light, so much love inside. Walls cannot contain the joy of those who there abide. What comfort and cheer, so hopeful and near, to be a part of such a scene cannot be, I fear. I'm a throwaway boy, alone in the world, a homeless chap am I, no more tears to cry. Who could love a tramp such as I, or care if I should die? I'm a throwaway boy. Feel the bleak and hollow wind howling in the night. This is all I've ever known, it's been my lifelong plight. My worn out soul longing for a home, I'd leave behind this weary life, never more to roam. I'm a throwaway boy, alone in the world, a homeless chap am I, no more tears to cry. Who could love a tramp such as I, or care if I should die? I'm a throwaway boy.
Dear me.
Hello. I have a letter from Mr. Lawrence.
It's cold out there. Oh, my. Come in, please.
My name's Nat Blake, ma'am. I have a letter.
Yes, stand here and drip on the mat a wee bit while I fetch the missus. It's all ragging up and
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Nat Blake.
Mine's Tommy Banks. Come out and have a go, will ya?
Guess I won't till I see whether I'm staying or not.
You mean you're going to be staying here?
Don't know yet.
Have you seen Miss Bhaer?
No.
Well, you look wet.
He looks half dead.
Give him a break, Jack. My name's Franz. Welcome.
Give me the open sea, mateys.
Oh, Roger.
Mr. and Mrs. Bhaer said they'd be out in a wee bit. Tommy, why don't you introduce Nat here to all the boys?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Let's see. We'll start with Emil here. Thinks he's Captain Kidd. And this is Dick. You can see his back's a bit crooked, but he's a bit of all right.
God don't care how I'm shaped, for my soul straight, for my back ain't.
You're a fine fellow, Dick. Don't know anyone kinder than you.
Do humps make people good-natured to me? Because if they do, I'd like one.
No one else can play the camel in the Christmas pageant as well as me.
That's true.
I think it's bully I come. My name is Adolphus, but everybody calls me Dolly. Oh.
I'm Ned.
Blunderbuss is his nickname.
Because he knocks down everything and trips on his own 2 feet.
He brags like an athlete, but when it comes down to it, he's not very brave.
Hello, my name is George.
But everyone calls him Steffi.
Why does everyone have a nickname around here?
Before his mother brought him, she spoiled him with sweets and candies and goodies, so when he got here, he was all dull and puffy and frail.
But Mother says the bears are miracle workers, and she sees much improvement already.
Yeah.
This is Billy. We build blocks together.
Billy,
He's not too smart anymore. He almost died of a fever and it left his mind blank. His papa was ashamed of him and sent him to us.
His papa made him study 6 hours a day. He crammed his poor head so full of knowledge. I think he might have snapped. I might have snapped too.
Hi, I'm Daisy, and this is my twin Demi. We come every day to school because Auntie Jo and Uncle Fritz are the best teachers in Concord. And Plumfield is the nicest place in the world. Isn't it, Demi?
No, I think Greenland, where the icebergs and the sea are more interesting. But I'm fond of Plumfield.
This place is cheap. That's why I'm here.
Oh, brother.
My folks didn't want me, I guess. But it's a decent place. I'm Jack.
Well, enough of the introductions. Look at this poor lad, shivering and wet. Take off your coat, stand by the fire. We welcome you in where it's drier.
You'll never find a nicer place. We guarantee a smile on your face.
Will they really let me stay? I have no way to pay. All of you have been so kind. I don't know what to say.
Just say goodbye to what you're used to. Our family will help you get through. Welcome to Plumfield. You're not alone. You are always welcome at Plumfield. You found a home with us. Feeling at home is really a cinch. It won't be long till you find your niche. Welcome to Plumfield. You are welcome here inside our home.
It's all aboard. Take up your scabbard.
We'll have a time and never be bored.
Here's something good to fill you up. If you are more than always clean up.
Love has made this house a home. This can be your home.
To be aboard of such a sea.
Chickens to raise, eggs to be sold now, gardens to tend.
Not when it's cold out.
Welcome to Plumfield. You're not alone. You are always welcome at Plumfield. You found a home with us. Feeling at home is really a cinch. It won't be long till you find your niche. Welcome to Plumfield. You are welcome here inside our home.
You wouldn't know it to look at me now, boys, but I used to be able to kick in the heels like a regular can-can girl back in the day.
You've still got the magic.
Thanks, Jack.
For an old maid, that is.
You'd better run, Jack. Nobody calls Hannah McFeely an old maid. I'll have you know, I've got to beat off the suitors with me broom. You're lucky I'm here to look after your sorry hides.
Christopher Columbus. Trust me, it's not wise to mess with old Hannah. I learned that before I was old enough to pin up my hair. This must be our new boy. I see you've met everyone.
We've been perfect gentlemen, Auntie. You'd be proud.
And ladies.
Good. Well, I'm Mrs. Bhaer, and this is Mr. Bhaer, but the children call us Mother and Father Bhaer.
There's a place all set for thee. Come and dry thy wet feet by the fire.
Wet? Why, so they are. Take those things off this minute, and I'll get you some dry ones.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here you go. Here, these are Tommy Bangs' slippers, but he never remembers to wear them, so we can't have them. This side. Well, they're a little big, but that's all the better because you can't run away from us so fast as if they were fitted.
I don't want to run away, ma'am.
Well, you might not run away now, but I can guarantee you that times will get hard and you will be tempted to run away.
I have nothing to run to.
How long have you had that cough?
All winter, I got cold and it wouldn't get better.
Well, I'm going to try to get rid of it. Here, my rogue Teddy cough. He wants some syrup because it tastes like honey. Can't have any.
Getting the royal treatment? Hey, those are my slippers, but you can wear them. I never remember to.
Thank you, Tommy. Now, Nat, let's get some warm food in you and some warm clothes on you. I think supper will be ready soon, and then before supper, though, will you show him where the clothes closet is?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Whose turn is it to help set the table? Well, don't all shout at once.
Me and Billy, Miss Hannah.
Billy und I.
Mind your P's and Q's, George.
Billy and I will go set the table. Come on.
And keep your fingers out of me jelly pot, young man. What possesses a lad to be sticking his fingers in the jelly pot, ruining it for everybody?
It's my turn to help the cook.
Well, then what are you doing here? Those potatoes can't peel themselves.
That's right.
Me.
Close your eyes.
Oh, wait.
Emil, Demi, and Daisy, you clean up the parlor. Ned, help Franz with the animals.
Here's some dry clothes for you to wear. So where'd you come from?
Well, I live with my pa, and we played our fiddles on the street to make money.
You play fiddle?
Yeah.
Are you any good?
Good enough to earn my food on the streets.
We have a jolly good band here. All boys, of course. Maybe you can be our first fiddle.
I should like that.
Come on.
It always seems such a shame to come for the twins. I know they hate to miss anything.
Well, after a day at Plumfield, home seems dull. Hello?
Oh, hello, sister.
Hello, Meg. Good evening. Joe. We're just having a little music after supper. Look at Daisy leading little parade into the parlor.
Does it seem odd to anyone else that she's the only girl here? Is it really good for her?
Daisy has a gentling effect on the boys and is a godsend to Billy.
Billy and Daisy ruined me kitchen today making snickerdoodles. When they came upon the scene, Billy had flour in his ears and on every counter. And the snickerdoodles looked like, pardon me for saying so, but they looked like accidents, if you catch my meaning. And they tasted like soap. How does things soap? I had to try washing my hands with them.
Hannah has to put up with a lot these days, but don't worry, we made sure they stayed in and cleaned up the whole mess.
Good, I was going to say she better have cleaned up.
Oh, don't worry, Meg. You've raised her well. She didn't even dream of leaving it. She's really taken to our newest boy, Nat.
Is he the one Laurie sent?
The very one. He has a quiet nature, but we're getting to know him. Oh, could you please stay just a little bit longer?
I'd love to. That is, if my husband doesn't object.
How can I say no to those big brown eyes?
Can't do it.
Let us have a bit of music after supper.
Nat plays fiddle.
Ah, fiddle player.
I don't have my fiddle anymore. It was taken after my father died.
Well, it just so happens that we have a fiddle here that suffers terrible want of use. Franz, will you get the fiddle, please? Come on.
There you go.
Play a bit for us.
I'll do the best I can.
matter?
You're all so kind and so beautiful.
Oh, you're tired, and this is too noisy a place for you. Go and get ready for bed, and then meet me in my study.
Poor thing, he's so overwhelmed.
Yes.
Living here will be medicine for his pitifully abused soul. I'm proud of what you're doing here, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Now you get these two little lambs of yours home. We have a busy day tomorrow. If weather permits, we're going to start our spring gardens.
Oh, darn.
Good night, sister.
Good night.
Joe, thanks for what you're doing for Demi. He's a bit of a bookworm, and he needs the social interaction he gets here at Plumfield.
Oh, well, your two set the standard for the others. Good night.
I like the new boy.
Oh, so do I, very much.
He has a gentle nature.
Like someone else I know. I'm going to talk with him before bed.
I shall get Teddy ready for his bath.
Thank you.
Come here, buddy.
Good night, honey.
Dear Joe, here is a case after your own heart. This poor lad is an orphan now, sick and friendless. He had been a street musician, and I found him in a cellar, mourning his dead father and his lost violin. I think there is something in him, and have a fancy that between us we may give this little man a lift. You cure his overtasked body, Fritz can help his neglected mind, and when he is ready, I'll see if he is a genius. Or only a boy with a talent which may earn his bread for him. Give him a trial, for the sake of your own boy, Teddy.
Oh, I will. Of course I will.
Are you ready for me?
Oh, yes. Please, Nat, sit right here. I just wanted to let you know that you have a mother and father now, and this is your home. And I don't want you to think of those sad times anymore. Plumfield is a place for all sorts of boys to have a good time in, but also to learn and to become useful men. And you can have as much music as you like, only you must promise to get better first. This letter says that Mr. Lawrence has sponsored you to live here.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now let me show you to your bed. It's with all the other boys, and they're very noisy, so don't be afraid to tell them to be quiet. Just up here. There you go.
I haven't slept in a bed in so long.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here with us. I want to give you all the love and comfort you've been deprived of all these years.
I forgot what it's like to be clean. I keep closing my eyes thinking that all this is a dream and it will all disappear once I open them.
It's not a... Oh, Billy! You get back here right now, you little scallywag. I'll teach you to get me. Get out of here. Every Saturday night, I let the boys have a pillow fight, but only if they promise to go to bed proper every other night of the week. If they keep their word, they can rampage as much as they like. If they don't, then no frolic.
That's a beautiful plan.
To bed, every man, Jack, or pay the forfeit.
What's the forfeit?
You lose your fun for the next time.
Yes, you do. I give the boys 5 minutes to settle down and have lights out. They're honorable lads and they keep their word. Good night. To bed.
Now, boys, it's time for your prayers. On your knees now, every last sinner among you, no lollygagging. Pray for God's grace in these trying times. And forgiveness too, Lord knows you need it. Putting salt in my tea. If I don't find the little scallywag who put salt in my tea, it was you. I knew it. The guilty one.
For all your love, for all your care, we offer you this solemn prayer. The food we eat, the clothes we wear, your sons. Help them all as they become men of strength and men of grace, men who give their lives to seek your praise. We kneel before the Holy One, grateful for your daily love. Help to guide them on their way, and watch them as they sleep the night away, and dream of heaven's love.
I can't believe I'm really here at Plumfield. It seems too good to be true. I never imagined I would have the love of a family. I don't feel I deserve any of this. Mrs. Bhaer assures me that love isn't earned, it's freely given here, but I hardly know how to repay them. I'll just be as good as I can. There's all kinds of boys here, and I'm glad for the younger ones who are helping me learn my way about. There's a fiddle for me to play, but someday I'd like to have my own again. Thank you, God.
What you got there, son?
I found this bug. Look, I found him under a rock.
Good to hear you've been turning over rocks.
Is it supper time yet?
Nah, it's only 3 o'clock.
3 more hours? Church always makes me extra hungry.
Didn't get enough to eat at lunch?
Oh, I did. It's just I'm hungry again, that's all.
My goodness, Dick, you have quite a few plants there.
Tomatoes, Mr. South. Nobody else needs to plant tomatoes. I've got lots.
That's for sure. Got plans to clear this little plot anytime soon?
It's all done, Mr. Silas. Got my seeds all planted.
I can't make out the rows.
I was trying something new.
You don't say. What's your strategy?
I didn't want too many eggplants, sir, so I only planted one.
1 eggplant? We got a whole house to feed, Dolly. It might take more than 1 eggplant to do the job.
Should I plant another one?
How about you plant 5 more?
5? That's a lot of eggplants. I like eggs. I just don't like the plants.
Look at my plot, Dolly. Enough to feed a whole ship and then some.
That's a fine little farmer meal. Real fine. My goodness, Ned, you know better than to carry all them tools yourself. Why don't you get somebody to help you?
Almost a man, Silas. Real men don't ask for help all the time.
A real man, my boy, knows when to ask for help. Franz, would you put down your whistle a minute and give us a hand?
I've almost got the 4th nocturne in G major mastered.
There's a time and a place for everything. This is the time for working the land, not the whistle.
It's a flute. Whistle.
Oh, it looks like you got all your seeds in the same spot.
Pumpkins, pumpkins.
I keep telling him, Mr. Silas, Billy thinks they'd be lonely if they can't be planted together. I keep putting him in a different hole, but he keeps digging them up. What do I do?
Guess he'll learn soon enough when he sees how crowded they are. Nothing like the truth to teach the lesson. Meanwhile, why don't you and Teddy put me a couple of pumpkins in the corner so we can have some for our Thanksgiving pies?
Got my eyes planted, Silas.
That's fine, Demi. Can't ever have too many taters.
Well, what do you think?
That's a pretty ambitious plot here, Jack.
Yes, sir. Got me a row of onions, 4 rows of carrots, and a row of radishes. Over here, I got 6 zucchini. There's a couple of crooknecks, and those are watermelons. Plan on selling some to make me some money.
You greedy old so-and-so. Why can't you just do it for the family? Everything we need here is provided.
You're just jealous, Bangs. I'm gonna have enough money to buy me some more laying hens. Then I'm gonna make enough money selling eggs to save up for my own horse.
It's good to have goals. Just make sure they ain't too selfish.
They're not selfish.
Of course they're selfish. You think Jack were here would let anybody ride his horse?
Hey, Bangs, I'm planting a garden here. Gonna give most of it to the cook. What are you belly aching about? Where's your plot?
On the other side.
What'd you plant?
Beans?
Beans?
Well, I tried melons last year, but all I got was a bunch of weeds.
You lazy bum, you gotta pull the weeds and water the seeds if you want a crop.
Well, I forgot.
You forgot? You were too busy in everybody else's business.
That's enough. Get back to it, Tommy.
Well, I can't let to have beans since the earliest crop of going.
Christopher Columbus ain't never seen a plot this tended to.
No weeds in this little patch, sir.
You done real good here, boy. But if you ain't careful, your plants won't get a chance to grow all that tilling and hoeing you done here.
I'll try. This is my favorite thing about Plumfield so far. My very own plot of land.
What's planted here?
Corn.
Corn's not an easy crop.
That's why I decided to try it. The others said it was too hard and too much work.
I got me a big plot of strawberries needing some weeding. Maybe you could split your attentions and help me out with that berry patch. I could give you some of the money we'd earned selling them.
Really?
I'd be much obliged for your help, son.
I want to get my own violin someday.
I heard you was a fiddle player.
Can't wait till my seeds come up. I've been waiting all day and nothing's happened yet.
Well, I don't think so. Yes. Things going on that you can't see.
Things going on that I can't see.
Just give it time and let it be.
Just give it time and let it be.
Can't rush things.
Things take time.
Before you know it, you will find mysteries of life happen all around you. Take time along the way to look around. Things that you have grown, you can call your own. Oh, the mysteries of life are all around. Things worth having are worth the wait.
Things worth having are worth the wait.
Takes forever, but it's not late.
It takes forever, but it's not late.
Tender garden,
Keep them well.
One day you will show and tell of the mysteries of life that happen all around you. Take time along the way to look around. The things that you have grown, you can call your own. All the mysteries of life are all around. Mysteries of life happen all around you. Take time along the way to look around. The things that you have grown, you can call your own. Oh, the mysteries of life are all. Mysteries of life are all. Mysteries of life are all around.
How are the gardens coming along?
Funny how you can see the personalities of each boy in his plot.
That gives me an idea for the Sunday evening talk.
Plenty of good material for a sermon.
Hello, Fritz, Silas. How are the little gardeners doing?
Demi and Daisy insisted they have plots along with the others this year.
Daisy got herself a little flower garden yonder, and she's helping Billy with his pumpkins. Demi has calculated to try taters.
That sounds about right. Demi loves his meat and potatoes almost as much as he loves a good book.
And Daisy has to have her little bouquets.
We thought we'd join you for Sunday night devotions before we take the twins home.
That is if they can wait for their baths.
The children are in washing up. It seems that half the yard was on the bottom of their feet.
Mr. Bear's gonna tell a story. Then he's gonna ask you some questions, so you better listen if you know what's good for you.
Once upon a time, there was a great and wise gardener who had the biggest garden ever seen. A wonderful and lovely place it was. And he used great skill and care and raised all sorts of excellent and useful things. But the weeds would grow, even in this very fine garden. But he worked and watched, and for thousands and thousands of years, he waited for the great harvest.
He must have been pretty old.
Hush, Demi, it's a fairy tale.
It's not a fairy tale, it's an allegory.
What's an allegory?
Tell him, Demi, if you can, and try not to use words unless you are quite sure their meaning.
I know. Grandpa told me an allegory is a story that means something.
Yes. Uncle's story is an allegory, I'm quite sure. Now let's all listen and see what it means.
One day the gardener went to one of his servants and gave him a dozen or so little plots and told him to see what he could raise. He gladly took them and fell straight to work. They were all sorts of shapes and sizes. Some had good soil and some not so good. But he had to work hard, for the weeds would grow fast in the rich soil, and in the poor soil there was lots of stones.
What was growing in them besides weeds and stones?
Flowers.
Aww.
But even the roughest, most neglected plot had a bit of heartsease or a sprig of mignonette in it. One had roses, sweet peas, and daisies. Another had all sorts of curious plants, bright pebbles, a vine that grew like Jack's beanstalk, and all sorts of plants beginning to blossom. Some were easy to cultivate. Cultivate means take care of, Daisy. And some were hard. There was one particularly bright, sunshiny spot that could have grown all sorts of fruits and vegetables as well as flowers. But it never gave in to any pains. And when the servant planted, we'll say melons, they came to nothing. But he worked. And every time the crop failed, he was sad. But all the plot could say was, I forgot.
I knew it was us. You were the man and we were the little gardens.
You have guessed it. And I want each of you to tell me what you will have me sow in your lives. And we will start with the oldest and ask the mother what she will have. For we are all parts of a beautiful garden and have a rich harvest for the master if we love him enough.
I shall devote the whole of my plot to the largest crop of patience I can get, for it is what I need the most.
Perseverance.
Steadiness. Good temper.
To like to get up early in the morning.
Industriousness.
As much wiseness as Grandpa.
I wish I loved my lessons as much as I do my dinner, but I can't.
We will plant self-denial, and we will water it and hoe it and watch it grow, so that next year no one gets too sick eating too much Christmas dinner. If you exercise your mind, George, it will become hungry, just like your body does. And you will learn to love books, just as much as our little philosopher here. But you, my nephew, are also greedy, for you like to stuff your mind with fairy tales and fancies, just as much as George here likes to stuff himself with cakes and candy. Both are bad. So let us try something new. George, you shall eat only 3 meals a day. And Demi, you shall only read 1 book a week and apply yourself to arithmetic. And I will give you both the cricket field.
But we don't like cricket.
Yeah.
Perhaps not now, but you will when you know it.
Besides, both of you boys love to be generous, and the other boys love to play, so maybe you can share your field with them.
Wisdom and charity, patience and joy, love is the greatest of all. Tend to your gardens, look after your soul, pray for these virtues to grow. Beware of the stones, beware of the weeds, a worthy crop you will be. If you contend for something of worth, a fine reward you'll receive. faith, hope, and kindness, meekness and grace, steadiness, temperance too. Love for each other, help for a friend, things that are holy and true. Beware of the stones, beware of the weeds, a worthy crop you will be. If you contend for something of worth, a fine reward you'll receive.
We'll be a worthy crop. We'll be a faithful crop. We'll be a healthy crop. God bless our crop. God bless our crop.
Beware of the stones, beware of the weeds, a worthy crop you will be. If you contend for something of worth, a fine reward you'll receive. Tend to your gardens, look after your soul, pray for these virtues to grow.
Going to school, I was afraid that they would all see how dumb I was. But Mr. Bhaer gave me a seat by the window so I could turn my back on the others and they wouldn't see how I blotted my copybook or hear my blunders as I read aloud to Franz. Professor said, "Don't work so hard, my boy. You'll tire yourself out and there's time enough." When I told him I must work hard so I could catch up with the others, he said I knew a great deal of things that the others didn't. When I asked what, he told me that I could keep my temper, and Jack, who was good at numbers, couldn't. And I can play the violin, and none of the boys can do that, though they want to very much. Then he said that the best thing of all was that I really cared to learn something, and that is half the battle. Yes, I can keep my temper. Father's beatings taught me that. And I can fiddle, though I don't know where the Bay of Biscay is. I really do want to learn all I can. I'm glad to be here.
All right, boys and Daisy, that is enough for today. Nat, would you stay, please?
Yes, sir?
Mrs. Joel tells me that you have been caught in some lies.
Oh, just little white lies.
A lie is a lie, nevertheless.
I know, and I don't mean to. But it's much easier to get along if you ain't very fussy about being exactly true. I used to tell them because I was afraid of Father, and now I sometimes tell them because the other boys laugh at me. I know it's bad, but I forget.
When I was a boy, I used to tell such lies. What fibs they were. And my grandmother cured me of it. Do you know how? She said, "I will help you remember and put a check on this unruly pot." And with that, she took out my tongue and snipped it with the scissors until it bled. It was terrible, you can be sure. But you know, my tongue was sore for days, and the words came slow and gave me time to think.
I never had any grandmothers, but if you think it will cure me, you can snip my tongue.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Let us try something different. When you lie, rather than me punish you, you will punish me.
How?
You will strike me. I think that if you give me pain, it will help you remember more than if you feel it yourself.
I could never strike you.
Then mind that tripping tongue, for I do not want to be hurt, but I will suffer much pain to cure this pot.
I'm going up to the barn to see if Granny or Cackletop laid any eggs. You want to come?
Sure. Everybody has something but me. I wish I had a dove or a turtle or even a hen of my own. Where do they come from?
Let's see. We find them, we buy them, or people give them to us.
Where did you get your chickens?
My father gave me mine. But once I get enough egg money, I'm going to buy a pair of duckies because they're so cute and fuzzy, and it's fun to watch them swim. and people pay good money for duck eggs.
I never had father. I don't have a father nor money. All I have is these empty pockets.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. If you go rummage through the barn for me, every 12 eggs that I get, you can have one. And once you get 12 eggs, you can give them to Mrs. Bhaer and she'll give you 25 cents for it. And you can buy whatever you like.
I'll do it. What a kind fellow you are, Tommy.
That's nothing. I heard Granny cackling, so you're sure to find something. I'll just sit here and wait for you to get back. You may begin rummaging the barn now.
So, I heard Redneck Creek is a good place to fish.
All right. Yeah, it's got that nice shady spot over there under that willow.
Yep. Hey, where are you guys going?
Nowhere.
You got your fishing gear. I want to come.
No youngsters on this voyage.
Besides, Mother Bear said we can go fishing without having to look after you younger boys.
Yeah, and us real men need some time away from the babies.
I ain't no baby. I ain't. I'll show you. I'm gonna have a circus while you're gone, and you're gonna miss the whole thing.
Were we like that when we were kids?
You probably were, not me. I've always been a self-made man. Don't need nobody.
You'll probably be a millionaire one day.
You bet I will. The first thing I'm gonna do is build you a house where everything's bolted down so you don't have to worry about breaking things when you trip.
Really?
Say, are we gonna walk past Becky Anderson's house today?
I saw you ogling her at church.
Emil, you should talk. Never saw anybody move so fast as when she dropped her glove.
I had to move fast, or Jack here would have beat me to it.
She's pretty. Guess I don't have no chance with her. I was noticing Sarah Beasley though.
Yeah, if you like buck teeth.
Cut it out, Jack. She'll grow into those teeth. Old Jack here will be lucky to find such a nice girl. He'd probably wind up with big old Betsy Roosevelt.
What?
She thinks Jack is dapper. I heard her say so.
Gotta look good to win the dames. Race you to the river.
Last one there, marries Betsy.
Please, ma'am, can I speak to you for a second? It's something kind of important.
Yes, what is it?
Dan has come.
Who's Dan?
He's a boy I used to know when I fiddled around the streets. He sold papers and he was kind to me. I saw him the other day in town and I told him how good it was here and he's come.
That's a rather odd way to pay a visit.
Oh, it isn't a visit. He wants to stay here if you'll let him.
Oh, Nat, I don't know about that.
I thought you'd like to have poor boys come and live with you and be kind to them as you were to me.
Well, yes, I do, but I have to know something about them first. I have to choose them because there are so many. I don't have room for them all. I wish I had.
If there isn't room, he can go away again.
Tell me about this Dan.
I don't know anything, only he's poor and he has no folks. And he was good to me, so I'd like to be good to him if I could.
Well, excellent reasons, every one, Nat, but really, the house is full. I don't know where I'd put him.
He can have my bed. I could sleep out in the barn. It isn't cold now. I used to sleep anywhere with my father.
I think we should find a place for your friend without you giving up your bed. Now go bring him in.
This is Dan.
And Nat says you want to stay with us.
Yeah.
Say yes, ma'am.
You don't have any friends that want to take care of you?
No.
Say no.
Can't neither.
How old are you?
About 15.
You look older.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Most anything.
Well, if you stay here, we shall expect you to work and study as well as play. Can you agree to that?
Don't mind trying.
Okay, well, we'll let you stay here for a while and see how you get on. Nat, please entertain him till after supper.
Come on, Nat.
Dan, why must you act so rudely? Mr. and Mrs. Bhaer are first rate, and you ought to speak to them with respect. The fellas are having a circus in the barn. You want to go see it?
They big fellas?
No, the big ones are gone fishing.
Fire away, then.
but you can't see the show.
He's company, so I'll pay for both.
No, ladies and gentlemen, from the deepest, darkest parts of Africa, the wild, untamed king of beasts.
Do you know where the bottle of blood is?
Yes.
Good.
Back, priest! Back! Now, I will attempt to make this wild, untamed beast jump through the ring of fire.
Oh my gosh. That was so amazing.
And now, the man with the fastest feet in Concord, Demi Brooks.
Wow.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. The amazing Tommy Bangs will attempt to jump over the pool of sharks. Tommy Bangs, ladies and gentlemen.
That ain't nothing.
I want to hear you say that again.
You want to fight?
No, I
Oh, aren't you a nice lot?
Dan, if you don't behave, you won't be able to stay.
I just want to see him do better than I did, that's all.
All right, clear away then.
Clear the way,
don't.
guys.
Guys, get out of the way.
Thank you.
You can't
Thank you, I'll
beat
be
that,
all
Tommy.
week,
You
yes.
always hit your head and tumble flat.
You think you can teach me to do that?
What are you giving me for teacher?
My new jackknife. It's got 5 blades and only one's broken.
Just keep practicing, that's all.
That ain't fair. Get back
All
here.
right, look at your drawers in a bunch. Let's say we play stick and knife for it.
Stick knife. That's
All right.
There he is. He's a firebrand, that one.
I hope this experiment doesn't cost us something. But we'll try it.
I shall try not to lose my patience with him, although he already tries me sorely.
Ah!
But it may cost us too much.
You knocked him down when he wasn't looking.
See, that's the trick of it. You wait till they ain't expecting it, then you give it to them.
Where'd you learn to fight?
All right, let me teach you sissies a lesson in boxing. First thing, you make them come after you. You just wait for it. And then, when it comes, you duck, and then you give them a couple good ones, you see?
Okay, let me try.
You sure you want to try? All right. Come on. Like taking candy from a baby. Sure don't look too good, kid. Oh, tough guy. Oh!
Fight it, it's wrong. Tommy, you said it. No,
I cannot allow this! Stop it at once! I raised a school for boys, not wild animals. Look at each other and be ashamed.
Let me call him again!
I ain't thrashed yet!
What is this fighting all about? Who started it?
Dan!
Don't you know it is forbidden?
I don't know. Yeah?
Then why do it?
They'll be mollycoddles if they don't know how to fight.
Does Tommy look like a mollycoddle?
He'd be a first-rater if he was taught.
He'll be taught to fence and box by and by. But for now, he doesn't need any lessons in mauling. Now, go wash your faces. And Dan, remember that if you continue to break the rules, you will be sent away.
I think Tommy
That will be our agreement. We will love, give you a second chance, and take care of you. That will be our end of it, if you keep up your end.
Not here. Is this right?
So we may have to like eliminate.
Yes, that's good.
You know, maybe not if we're gonna perform it here.
Thank you.
I don't know. Cause I mean, like right now.
If you will come in here, please.
Did you call, sir?
Do you remember our talk about lying?
Yes, sir.
Did you ruin Emo's letters?
Oh, please, don't make me do it.
I will keep up my end of the agreement, and you will watch your lying tongue. Now give me 6 good strikes. More and harder.
Isn't that enough?
2 more.
I won't remember. Oh, I will.
I think you will. Now let us pray to God and ask Him to help you and spare us both another scene like this.
Dan, could you come in here, please?
What? Why?
You're not in trouble. I just want to show you something.
Oh.
How are you getting on here at Plumfield?
All right, I guess.
Well, I want my boys here to learn more than just school lessons. Do you understand?
You mean be good?
Yes, to be good, and to want to be good. Sit down, please. I know it's hard sometimes, but everybody helps each other, and so we get on. Oh, and here's one of the ways in which I help my boys. It's called my conscience book.
Hey, that's my name.
Yes. I keep a little account of how everyone's getting on throughout the week, and then on Sunday I show it to them. If it's good, then I'm glad and happy. If it's bad, then I'm sad and disappointed. But whichever it is, the boys try their best for love of Professor Bhaer and I.
Must be a lot of trouble to write about so many.
Oh, not for me. I don't know which I like best, boys or writing. Most people think boys are a nuisance, but I never met one I couldn't get on capitally with once I hadn't found that soft spot in his heart. Dear me, I don't know what I would do without my group of harum-scarum little lads.
So, are you gonna show me what's written there?
Oh, yes. Dan has had a life of hardship and neglect. He knows we are trying to help him, and I think he's grateful at the bottom of his heart, but his rough life has made him hard and careless, suspicious and willful. He hates restraint of any sort and fights against it like an untamed creature. Dan is kind to the animals and holds a special place in little Teddy's heart. He calls him my Danny. This shows me he has a good heart, and a good heart is one we can work with. Well, what do you think?
Pretty much nailed it.
Are you grateful for the chance to be loved and taught?
Yeah.
Did you know you have an angel helping you?
No, an angel.
Yeah. How do you think you got here? It was no accident. Didn't you know you're part of a plan? This is how it went. First you were a dream in the Father's heart. He knew you'd be a tough one. You could be a part of the world we live in. right here, right now. He knew we'd find each other, though you'd wonder how. The angels watch you, the angels guide you, and even now you are loved. You think that you've made a mess. I bet you didn't know. He knows that we're not perfect. And through lessons learned we grow. Remember when you came, when you first arrived. You were broken, lucky you survived. A weaker man couldn't last the storm, but you've been strong since the day you were born. The Father knows you, the Father keeps you. He is your Father and you are his son. Have faith, dear child, you're not alone. Dan tried to be good in spurts. He was always tempted to show off and get the others into trouble, though. He nearly killed poor Buttercup, our milk cow, by daring Tommy to charge at her like a matador riding Toby the donkey. He wanted to see if he could get her to charge like a bull, for she does have a fine set of horns. Instead, she became so bewildered she jumped the fence. She injured her shoulder jumping and ran into nearby fields. By the time the boys rounded her up and got her back home, she was covered in mud and scratched up, and the naughty boys were all red-faced, hot and scared for their lives that Mr. Bhaer should find out. Dan was sure he'd be sent away, and argued that he never heard any rule against bullfighting. Mr. Bhaer showed his characteristic kindness and offered Dan one more trial, saying that the first and most important of the few rules here at Plumfield was the law of kindness to every dumb creature on the place. Dan was grateful and respectful when Mr. Bhaer said his punishment would be to tend to Buttercup until she was well. Dan was really good for a couple of days, but not being used to it, he relapsed into his old willful habits. I don't know what to do. Can we keep him or should we let him go?
How's Buttercup doing?
She's still limping because she's old.
That was good fun playing hide and seek tonight.
Yeah, I guess.
It was nice not having to go to school today. That doesn't happen very often around here.
Look what I got here. We're gonna have some fun the way I used to with the fellas in town. I got some beer off the old man at the station and a cigar. We can ask Tommy to come in. He's got heaps of money. I'm gonna go get him. Actually, no, you go get him. They won't mind you.
The folks won't like it.
The folks won't know. Mr. Bhaer's away and Mother Bhaer's busy with Ted. He's got croup or something, and she can't leave his side.
Hannah will know if we burn the lamp long. She always
No,
does.
she won't. I got the dim lantern on purpose, so we can shut it up quick if we hear anyone coming.
I'll get Tommy.
It's about time.
Ah, what do you want? Leave me alone. I want to go to sleep. Oh. What? You're lighting a lantern? And what's this?
Beer?
And a cigar? Hey, we're gonna get in so much trouble.
Keep quiet, and I'll teach you boys a first-rate game called poker. First we'll all have a drink, and then we'll take a puff. That's what men do when they have this stuff. So have a drink and take a puff.
Puff?
And be a man. Right. Give me that. Let's see what I got here. One-Eyed Jack was a friend of mine. He lost his eye in a fight.
His eye?
He could hold his gin, he could keep his ground. The toughest cat in town. He taught me how to play this game. He taught me all his tricks. So pay attention, listen, boys. Learn it and be quick. 3 of a kind beats a pair, and 4 of a kind. That's really rare. When you're being a man, you gotta puff like this, see. Make darn sure you don't cough like a sissy. Pathetic. So let's all drink and take a puff, the way men do when they have this stuff. Never heard of Smithy Flanders?
Who's he?
Knew him, that I did. Never lost a hand of playing cards. More than lucky, he was smart. He could look into your eyes. He could steal your soul. And before you knew it, you were going down. You were in a hole.
Hole?
What do? You bluff your way through, 'cause a man who can bluff is man enough. When you're being a man, you gotta puff like this, see. Make darn sure you don't cough like a sissy. Wow. So let's all drink and take a puff, the way men do when they have this stuff. Ah, oh yeah. Ah.
Tommy! 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 Tommy.
George, what's all this yelling about?
I can't find Tommy!
Let's look and see. George, he's right here in his wee bed.
He wasn't a minute ago. I woke up and I couldn't find him.
Tommy, what are you at now, bad child?
I just went to Nat's room to see about something. That's all. Now go away and leave me alone. I'm awful tired.
Mind your business and obey the rules, boys. It's time for bed.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night.
Hey, fire! Get up! Wake up, get out and call Silas! Come on!
Oh, there! Oh, there's something on it!
Boys, go downstairs! Mrs. Joe! Mrs. Joe! Oh, dear! Get out! Go downstairs!
Looks like this is the culprit. Somebody's been smoking. Any idea who, Dan?
Yes, it was me.
Smoking? What you thinking, boy?
I'm sorry.
You nearly burnt us to a crisp, my God! Let me look at you. Oh, you dirty little sinner.
I'm so disappointed in you. I can't believe you would do this. Go downstairs and see that burn. Oh, thank you. You've saved us all.
Smelled smoke on my way to bed. Any longer, we could have had us a disaster.
Oh, thank you too, Silas.
Looks like a regular frolic was had. Guess you can take a boy out of the slum, but it takes a while to get the slum out of the boy.
And the set design and overseeing the building was Dave Greenetz. Didn't he do a great job? Also wanted to thank Robert Sanchez, John Starkey, Randy Law. Let's see, who else? There were probably some others, but I know they all helped on building the set as well. So let's thank them. Nita Foch was the seamstress, and she did a great job, didn't she? Also, part of the cast and helping with the hair and the makeup and the costumes is Renee Marcus. And we want to thank her. All these Victorian props, Bob and Suzanne England helped with, and they look great. And the harmonica, those hot licks that we heard, that's Ronnie Brazier. Way to go, Ronnie. Dave Dunning is the guy that worked on the light design, which is a huge job. We really appreciate Dave's help. Let's thank Dave Dunning for that. And then helping with promoting the whole thing, and the poster and the ads and the tickets are our office staff, Karen Mullen, Robbie Mitchell, and Paul Ward. Thanks so much for all your help. And then I especially want to honor again Leslie Greenetz, who is the director of the Creative Light Theater and the writer of what we're seeing tonight. And we're so thankful for her hard work for many years. She's done so much with so little. And it's just a real honor to finally have a theater that's worthy of her hard work. So thank you very much, Leslie. Let's welcome back to the stage the Creative Light Theater for the conclusion.
Fritz, I've got a new idea.
Well, what is it, my dear?
I think we need another girl. Daisy, well, she could always use another companion, and the boys have been pampering and fighting over her constantly, and she's getting spoiled. The boys could also learn to improve their manners, and the best way to do that is to have another girl around.
You are right as usual. So, who shall we have?
Little Annie Harding.
What? Naughty Nan?
Oh, she's been running wild at home since her mother died, and she's too smart a child to be spoiled by servants. I saw her father in town the other day, and I asked him why he hadn't sent her to school. He said he would gladly send her to school if he could find as good a school for girls as ours was for boys. Oh, I think he'd rejoice to have her come, so why don't we go over this afternoon and see about it?
Don't you have enough cares, my Joe, than to have this gypsy to torment you?
Oh, no. I know that all she needs to do is to be taught what to do with herself, to be a nice as girl as Daisy. And I know I can manage her, because I remember how my own blessed mother managed me.
Well, if you do half as well as she does, you will have done excellent work. Won't Daisy's hair stand on end at Nan's wild ways?
Oh, at first, perhaps. But it'll do the little posy good. Besides, her and Nan have such a good time when she comes over to play, and the two will help each other without knowing it. Dear me, half the science of teaching is knowing how much children do for each other and when to mix them.
I just hope she doesn't turn out to be another firebrand.
Oh, I can never quite forgive myself for letting Danny go. Do you miss Dan? I just think we should have kept him, maybe for Teddy's sake. Perhaps a child's love could have done for him what we failed to do.
I have often thought that myself. But after keeping the boys in a constant state of mischief and nearly burning out the family, I had to remove the firebrand, for a while at least.
Yes. I still can't help but think he might have changed.
Dinner's ready. Can I ring the bell?
Go ahead. So may I have her then?
A dozen Nans, if you will, my dear.
Thank you.
I miss Dan. I don't know why he insisted on being bad. The Bears were so kind and gave him so many chances. Why couldn't he try harder to change? What else will he do? I know what it's like to have no rules to live by, to live on the streets by your wits. Who would choose that way of life when they could have a family? I hope he stays on at Mr. Page's farm, though I doubt he will. Mr. Page is even stricter than Father Bhaer, and Dan hates restrictions.
Nan, remember, ladies must never burp. And if you do have to, you need to excuse yourself first. Now, put down your dress. The boys mustn't see your bloomers. And don't yell in the house, and please hang up your hat and coat.
Daisy, where are you?
Hello?
I'm gonna stay here for always. Papa said it. My box is arriving tomorrow. All my stuff had to be washed and mended. Your aunt came to carry me off. Isn't it great fun?
Well, yes. I hope you bought your own doll. You ruined mine last time.
Oh, she's someplace around here. I made you a ring while I was on the way over. I pulled the hair out of the horse's tail. Don't you want it? Last time we played together, we swore never to speak to one another again. I thought I should at least make something as about friendship, since we'll be together every day. Truce?
Want to go up and play in the nursery?
Where are the boys?
In the barn, I guess. We can play with the new kitchen Uncle Teddy bought and make cakes and have tea. Nan?
Isn't it interesting how many different kinds of girls there are? Nan's gonna add some spice to her lives, that's for sure.
Why doesn't she want to play with me? Does she wish she was a boy?
Believe it or not, Daisy, I was not a lot like Nan when I was a girl. It was the gentling effect of my sisters that tamed me. That's why I asked Nan to come live here. I was hoping that you could make her into an elegant young lady.
It won't be easy, but I'll give it an honest try.
Good.
Not fair. We should all win that game. You sore loser.
Oh, boy.
What are you all doing?
We just got done playing ball. Our team won just fine without you.
No, you can't.
Well, I bet I could beat any one of you guys at running.
Can she? She's pretty good at running, for a girl.
So, who wants to race?
Are you crazy? It's too hot out here.
What's the matter with Stuffy? He looks like he's going to cry about something.
The ball hurt his hand. He howls at everything.
I don't. I never cry, no matter how bad I'm hurt. It's babyish.
Really?
I can make you cry in 2 minutes.
See if you can.
Go pick a bunch of those thorns.
Good for you.
There!
That isn't fair. You're used to poking and hunting to everything. Now go hit your head against the wall real hard and see if you don't howl then.
No, don't do it.
Don't
Come
do
on.
it. I'll do it with you. Don't do it.
You okay? That hurt, but I don't cry.
Do it again. Please.
Stop it, or I'll throw you over the barn.
She told me to make her cry. She told me to try. So why are you picking on me?
It's rude. You should hurt little girls like her. I don't mind, and I ain't no little girl. I'm older than you and Daisy.
You're one to talk, Demi. You torment Daisy every day of your life.
I don't hurt her, do I?
You're the best boy in the world, Demi. You hurt me sometimes, but you don't mean to.
Pick up these bats and things, me hearties, and remember what you are about. There's no fighting allowed aboard this ship.
Oh, boy.
Yes, Captain.
Rascals. Tracking in the mud everywhere. My God. Absolutely ridiculous.
Here's another bushel of tomatoes, Miss Hannah. I've got lots more, too. I'm having a bumper crop out there.
You're becoming quite the little farmer, Dick.
All I did was stick the little plants in the ground. They keep on making tomatoes.
Out of curiosity, how many plants did you stick in the ground?
One for each person at Plumfield. Oh, and the pigs. They like to eat the rotten ones.
4 pigs. That's over 20 plants. Oh, my goodness.
Pumpkin for you, miss.
Oh, Billy, I think you might have picked it a wee bit too soon. Best if you leave it on the vine until it's bigger next time.
Hannah, Hey, I know your little secret.
And what is that, you wicked boy?
You're in love with Silas.
That is a ridiculous notion. Jack, what kind of nonsense fills your head to be coming up with fairy tales about me, of all people? Stop that.
I knew it. Why else would you be so flustered? You are in love with him.
Clear out, you scoundrel. Imagine such nonsense. These boys need more responsibilities, if you ask me. Not time enough tormenting innocent victims. Oh, Sans! Oh!
Corn's coming in, Hannah. Nat's out there harvesting the first of the bunch. Where would you like them?
On the table's fine for now. Mr. Silas?
Yes, Hannah?
About how many tomatoes would you say the average plant produces?
Oh, that depends on the type of tomato you're talking about. Now, the cherry tomato can produce a couple of hundred in 2 different harvests, while your sandwich tomato produces only 40 or so.
Oh. And what has young Dick planted?
Oh, Mr. Dick put in my hybrid champions. They produce up to 200 each.
Oh, Lord. 200 times 20. What am I to do with all those tomatoes?
Well, my mama always made tomato soup. Stewed tomatoes, tomato paste, tomato and cucumber salad, tomato relish, tomato pickles, tomato jelly, fried tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato basil, tomato garlic.
Be quiet, no present. Go in the back room. It's not your scene. What is it? Shh. It's the dance.
You know why we brought you here to Plumfield, Nan?
To go to school?
Well, yes, that, but also to teach you to be a lady.
Fat chance of that happening.
You underestimated Auntie Joe's and me power. We want to see you become the beautiful butterfly that is still hiding in that awful worm suit of yours.
Are you talking about my blue dress? Because I just washed that dress last Saturday.
Oh, no, Nan, I meant a papoose.
An Indian baby?
No, a caboose.
Do you mean my caboose? Or a train car?
Whatever, the point is you need to get more precise. The thing to do would to start with your skills as a hostess. Or throw a ball.
Bully, I love throwing balls.
You do?
Of course, silly, let's go.
No, a ball where you dance and eat fine cuisine. And there's no running.
Oh, well, who do you dance with?
We shall invite Mr. John Burks, Mr. Nathaniel Blake, and Mr. Thomas Banks.
Who are they? I ain't dancing with no old misters, no sir.
Oh, Nan, you're incorrigible. That's Dammy, Nat, and Tommy.
Sounds more like their fathers.
Well, that's how it's done when formal invitations are sent out. And we make all the food and prepare it ourselves.
I have to cook, good Lord.
Hey, you guys, look. I got a letter here from Mrs. Shakespeare Smith. Whoever that is. Mrs. Shakespeare Smith would like to have Mr. John Brooke, Mr. Thomas Bangs, and Mr. Nathaniel Blake to come to her ball at 3 o'clock today. P.S. Nat must bring his fiddle so he can dance, and all the boys must be good, or they cannot have any of the nice things we have cooked. Exclamation point.
They have been cooking a lot of goodies. I smelled them. My favorite, donuts.
I never went to a ball. What do you have to do? Oh, sit around, act stiff and stupid, and dance to impress the ladies.
And then you eat up all the food and come back as soon as you're done.
I think I can do that. Well, then, all right.
I'm gonna go get ready.
Me too. Hurry up. Dear Mrs. Shakespeare Smith, we will come to your ball at 3 o'clock today. P.S. Have lots of nice things to eat, or else.
In your half dress.
Must I really wear this?
Yes, and the hat, and this. You look splendid.
I look like a huge cream puff! Do you think the boys will really go through with this?
Nat and Demi will, but Tommy, he'll do something bad. I just know he will.
Then we'll send him right home.
Nan, it isn't proper to send people home from parties.
We won't invite him again then.
We'll have the splendidest things ever seen. Real soup with a ladle and tureen, a board for the turkey and gravy, vegetables. Oh, and Hannah sent us, ever so many tomatoes. And Teddy can be the butler.
I think a splendider thing to do would be a romp out of one and skip all this formal stuff.
Answer the door, Teddy, and be a fine gentleman.
Word in, Veneman. It's all ready.
Good day, Mom. This is a fine kettle of fish we have here against a tribe of savages in disguise.
Stop laughing, Mr. Bangs.
I can't help it. You two look so funny.
So do you, but I shouldn't be so rude as to say so. He shan't stay at the dinner ball, shall he, Mrs. Smith?
I think we better dance now. Did you bring your fiddle, Mr. Blake?
It's outside the door.
I think we better have tea first.
Mr. Bangs, we never have supper before we dance. And if you don't dance, you won't have any supper at all. I will take Mr. Bangs to teach him the waltz, for I don't know it fit to be seen.
What's the waltz?
That's why she has to teach you.
Yeah. Mr. Banks, stop it! Stop it!
One more spin. Now we'll have supper.
There's a wench.
Shall we?
It's about time. I could eat a horse, and you're a terrible dancer.
Thank you.
Our first course is turtle soup.
With real turtles?
It's just the name of it, Mr. Bangs.
Aww.
Fiddlesticks.
Toodles. Okay?
Need that.
Stormy, where is it?
Everybody? No, Jeeves, Teddy. Those are just decorations. Set them on the corner, please.
We didn't know the first thing to do with all them tomatoes Hannah sent our way.
How do you like the soup, gentlemen?
It's very, how should I say it gracefully?
What?
Disrespectful! The worst thing I put my child is here!
What do you mean? It's my dear mother's recipe. Oh, man. Maybe I shouldn't have substituted the castor oil for olive oil.
Oh my gosh!
What else is on the menu?
Yeah. Our second course is turkey and gravy.
Ooh, that sounds good.
What is that? Oh my gosh! That ain't no turkey!
Actually, it's a hen, good sir. Roasted to a golden black for your dining pleasures.
I do not want any of that.
What?
What about all the other stuff you guys are baking? Like the sweets and the candy, turtle soup, turkey, whatever.
What? It's my, what?
Well, fine.
Well, we've done all this creepy dancing, and we dressed up like politicians, and this is all we get?
How rude!
Well, if you don't like it, then leave. See if we go out to entertain you ungrateful baboons again.
Maybe we will.
Maybe I will.
Good, I didn't want you in the first place.
Now. We shall be perfect gentlemen and gag down your little feast to please you. For it was a valiant effort. And though you need some practice at cooking, who better than us to practice on?
That's right, man. We can be good sports about this, even if the food does taste like something my hen made. I ain't talking about her eggs.
That was uncalled for, Mr. Bangs. It may be true, but it is rude.
You should not complain.
Are you okay? What are you doing? Stop it, Cameron!
She wrecked my jacket with that horrid soup of hers.
Stop it! What?
What's going on here? What? Stop right.
Look what they've done to our ball, Andy!
Demi, get over here. I am very disappointed in you, for I had hoped you'd be a nicer brother to Daisy, such a kind girl as she is to you.
But Tommy says brothers always tease their sisters.
Well, I don't intend my boy shall, and if you cannot be nice to her, then I will send her home.
You wouldn't separate us, would you?
Nat was bad too, but Tommy was baddest of all.
We're sorry. It sort of happened on accident.
I ain't sorry. Nan started it.
You boys can leave, but you are not allowed to speak to the girls anymore. You do not deserve the pleasure, so I shall forbid it. Leave. Poor little girls. Oh.
It was awful not to have the girls to play with. We missed Daisy's cooking and care, and Nan's amusements and doctoring, and worst of all, Hannah and Mrs. Joe counted themselves among the offended girls, and refused to acknowledge us for days. They suddenly didn't have time for our requests, or even speak to us. It was the worst punishment ever. Professor Bhaer gave us advice when we could take it no more. He suggested doing something extravagant to please them and win back their favor.
Can't believe this to us. Those boys are up to something.
When is this blasted punishment gonna end?
Auntie Jo called my parents too and told them not to let Demi talk to me at home either.
I just wish I knew what they're up to. I think I might die of curiosity if I don't find out.
It seems like everybody knows except for us.
They've even got the big boys involved.
Oh. I just wish I could.
Girls, you need to come with me. Something very exciting is happening. I won't tell you what it is. It's a dance, but you didn't hear it from me. Let's go. Shh, let's go.
I don't want to go.
Happy hearts, happy faces.
I don't want to go.
Why do we have to suffer this? We weren't the ones who caused the little girl's grief.
Yeah, but Uncle Fritz is forcing us to go along with it. So try to have a good attitude.
Guess who's coming?
Mrs. Joe, Daisy, Naughty Nan.
Sarah Beasley, Becky Anderson, and every girl within 10 miles.
Well, why didn't you say so? Where's my jacket?
Look sharp, me laddies. The fair maidens are gonna be looking for real men tonight.
You cannot go to the dance dressed like that.
I can and I will. I ain't ashamed of my true calling, and any woman worth her salt would admire a man of his convictions.
Have you been sniffing paint fumes?
How'd they get those girls to come?
Mr. Bhaer drove the boys around in a buggy to each house. They were all dressed like penguins, and I thought for sure they'd be laughed to scorn. But they're coming, all of them.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Where are you boys taking us?
Just a little bit further.
Oh, Thunder Turtles, if you don't get us there quick, I swear I'll poke your eyes out.
Ha! Like to see you try.
Tommy?
Sorry, ma'am. We'll be arriving shortly, and I'm sure it's going to be a satisfactory surprise.
Better be making us dress up like Christmas trees.
Here we are. Take off your blindfolds.
On behalf of all the naughty boys at Plumfield, we'd like you to be the first guest of honor to the first annual Plumfield Ball. We're sorry for all the mean things we've done, and we miss you when we can't have our company.
Oh, thank you, Demi. I can't bear to be separated from my dear boy.
A ball? Do we have to dance?
Boys, I am very proud of you. You've done the right thing. You are hereby absolved of your banishment from the Society of the Girls. Congratulations.
Well, let's dance.
Yeah.
My Danny's here.
Danny's here? What are you talking about, silly boy? Did you see him? Where? At the window. Well, let's look. I don't see him. Are you sure you saw him? Promise? Dan?
Dan!
Danny, are you here? I'm sorry, Teddy. I think you're seeing things. Come on, let's go to bed. Oh, are you okay? Here you go.
Oh, let's put the little prince in his chambers.
He's all tuckered
so
out.
So the angels can whisper heaven's secrets to him.
Teddy thought he saw Danny at the window.
Perhaps Teddy knows something we don't.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Wonderful indeed.
Good
Say
night.
good night, Mummy. Say good night.
Dan! Dan, what are you doing here?
Mrs. Joe, I've come home.
Oh, I knew you would, and I'm so glad you have. Come here. Why didn't you come when Teddy called you?
Didn't think you'd let me in.
We'll try and see. Oh, are you lame?
Getting over a wall. Rock fell on my foot. Smashed it.
Oh.
I don't mind, though.
How long ago did it happen?
About 3 days ago.
Let me see. And you've been walking out in this state?
I had a stick to help me, and I washed every brook I came to. And a woman even gave me a rag to wrap it up in.
Well, Mr. Bhaer must see it. I'll be right back. Fritz, that boy has come back.
Who? Dan?
Yes, Teddy saw him at the window when we called to him, but he hid. I found him on the lawn just now, fast asleep, half dead with weariness and pain. He ran away from the pages and has been making his way back to us. He pretends that he didn't mean to let us see him, but it's evident the hope of being taken in has led him back to us. He is sitting out there waiting to know if you will forgive him.
Did he say so?
Oh, his eyes did. And when I woke him, he said like a lost child, "Mrs. Joe, I've come home." I didn't have the heart to scold him and just took him in like a poor little black sheep to the fold. May I keep him, Fritz?
Of course you may. I would no more send him away than I would my own son, Teddy.
Dan tried not to be gruff, and was so obviously grateful and relieved to be home. The doctor came and made him promise to stay off his foot for at least a week, during which time he unveiled his little collection of treasures to Teddy. He bore his pain like a Spartan, and was so tender with Teddy that I knew I had done the right thing welcoming him home. With each day and month that passed, he grew in strength and character.
Who took my dollar?
What?
I just got paid $1 from Miss Joe for my eggs. One more dollar would have been $5. I showed my 4 quarters to Nat, and we talked about that fiddle he's been saving for. Then I hid it in the old winnowing machine, because Dan found a snake, and I didn't want to go all the way back up to the bank. I might have lent Nat the money.
I didn't take your dollar.
Sure you didn't.
Well, somebody must have taken it.
By Thunder Turtles! When I get a hold of the thief, I'll give him what he won't forget in a hurry.
Whoa, cool down, Tom. Thieves always come to grief. We'll help you find them.
Maybe an old tramp slept in the barn and took it.
No, Silas
Don't
wouldn't
think
allow
so.
that. And besides, a tramp wouldn't go looking in that old machine for money.
Wasn't it Silas himself?
What? Sit down, Jack.
Old Si is honest as daylight. You wouldn't catch him touching a penny of ours.
Well, whoever it was, better tell, and not wait to be found out.
I know
Yeah.
you think it's me.
I can't help it. I didn't take
Gently, gently, my son. All of you, take your seats. I am going to ask a single question, and I want an honest answer. I will not bribe, frighten, or coerce the truth out of you, for you all have your own conscience. This is the time to undo the wrong done to Tommy, and set yourself right before us all. I can much more forgive a sudden yielding to temptation than I can to deceit. Do not add a lie to the theft, but confess frankly, and we will all try to help you make us forgive and forget. Now, did any of you take Tommy's dollar?
No, sir.
Nat?
I didn't take it. I tell you, I didn't.
Stop that! I am sorry, Nat, but the evidence is against you. And your old fault makes it easier for us to doubt you than if we could trust you. But I will not charge you with the theft, and I will not punish you until I am absolutely sure it was you. I will leave you to settle it with your own conscience. And if you are guilty, you may come to me anytime and ask for forgiveness, and I will help you make amends. If you are innocent, the truth will come out sooner or later. And when it does, I will be the first to beg your pardon for doubting you.
Poor Nat was the goat, and all the boys shunned him like a leper. Nobody believed him because he had a history of lying. A week of living in disgrace made Nat so sad and depressed I couldn't stand it. I did something I probably shouldn't have. I sold a valuable book that Mr. Lawrence gave to me to label my insect collection to the neighborhood kid for $1, and put the money in with the note in the barn. Nobody knew it was me, and suspicion still hung about the place. Everybody fancying themselves as some sort of detective. But Mrs. Bates sent the book right back, saying, there must be some mistake selling such a valuable book for only $1. Now I was under suspicion and got a taste of what Nat faced. But I'm tough. I can weather the storm better than him.
So, who's gonna take Billy through the addition cards today?
Don't all get up at once.
Be careful, Billy. Keep a good watch on all your stuff.
Knock it off, Banks. Leave him alone.
Why should I? He took my dollar and lied about it a whole week, making poor Nat feel like such a wretch.
Ooh, somebody's in trouble.
Somebody's in trouble. Dan.
I know all about it. And I beg your pardon.
What?
It was so much like you, and I love you for it.
What?
But it is never right to lie, even for a friend.
What is it?
Dan did not take Tommy's dollar.
What? Did? Then who took my dollar?
Jack left this morning and left this letter. I took Tommy's dollar. I wanted to tell, but I was afraid. I didn't much care about Nat, but Dan is a trump. I'm awful sorry. I am going home, and I don't think I shall ever be back. Jack.
Jack's gone?
They could just leave.
I wish Jack would have stayed to make amends of this. But we can pray to God and ask for him to change his heart. Jack will be missed.
I'll say I'm sorry and ask you to forgive me now.
It was a kind lie, but you can see it didn't come to any good.
That stopped the boys from plaguing Nat. He was downright miserable. And I didn't care so much.
How could you?
It's okay, old fella. Does Mrs. Bhaer know?
Yes, she does. And she is so happy, I don't know what she will do to you.
3 cheers for Dan.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
Hooray!
Dan, I knew it wasn't you. I'm so happy.
The fall colors turned to snow flurries, and before we knew it, winter was upon us. The boys had steadily been working, under the direction of Laurie and Amy, on repairing toys for unfortunate children in Concord.
I'm counting on you.
Painting and sewing things they were throwing away. Make a new wheel, the joy that we feel to play. With toys once used, loved and abused, then scrapped. It won't take long, love and a song then wrapped. Second time around, maybe the best time. Old and broken in, not like the first time. Life is still beating, no more competing, all for the love of a child. Better the second time around. Sawing and sanding things that were standing before. Beauty recaptured, you're out to pasture no more. Painting your dresses again. Once you were tripping, soon you'll be skipping, begin. Second time around, maybe the best time. Old and broken in, not like the first time. Life is still beating, no more competing, all for the love of a child. Better the second time around. Rocking, rocking, playing, playing, dancing, dancing, flying, skipping, skipping, singing, singing, rolling, rolling, trying harder the second time around, maybe the best time. Old and broken in, not like the first time. Life is still beating, no more competing, all for the love of a child. Better the second time around.
Won't the poor children be surprised? These toys look as good as new. New toys, new toys.
Yeah, this was a good idea, Mr. Lawrence.
Yes, thank you for the idea and for your help. This will be our best Christmas ever.
I agree with you, Dick. It's better to give than to receive.
Well, you have all worked hard and unselfishly, but I have another proposition for you. How would you like to go one better and surprise someone very deserving of our appreciation?
Who?
Let's think for a moment. Who is always thinking of others first? Who watches over you with tireless love?
Jesus?
Well, now that you mention it, Demi, it does sound an awful lot like Jesus. But I was thinking of someone else.
Mr. and Mrs. Bhaer.
You've guessed it, Dan.
What shall we do, Uncle?
Well, I thought I would let you figure that out. That way it would be entirely your gift to them. Why don't you put your heads together and see what you can come up with?
I think I have an idea. Come here, guys.
All right.
please be seated. We, the Mr. and Mrs. Bhaer, Mr. and Mrs. Brooke, Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence, Mr. Silas, Miss Hannah, we, the pupils of Plumfield, are proud to present an ode to the Bears. Please sit back and enjoy our presentation.
Where is me hanky? I know I'm gonna cry. Little rascals doing a presentation for the Bears. Oh.
I've always been a good boy, never needed help, and now I'm learning the lessons of your life.
Our parents taught us things we surely ought to know. Loving folks is how we need to grow.
We're learning how to love and touch somebody's heart. We thank you, Aunt and Uncle, for our start.
We look past our faults and see what's inside.
You see right past our problems to our hearts.
You help us to be all God wants us to be.
That's why
we sing this song
to the Bears.
We'll always look up
To the Bears.
Thank you for believing in me. I shall make you proud.
Hey! Knock it off! Knock it off!
Stop!
It ain't all that easy being good, you know. Especially when there's folks around like this one.
It ain't all that easy. Kindness don't come easy when you're talking about the likes of this one.
We know we've been
The object of your patience, receiving lots of first and second chances. And when the dust is settled on this chapter of our lives, your love will be what has made us change. And we will never, never be the same. We love you, Mr. and Mrs. Bhaer.
Run, Tommy.
You've shown us the example of a man, Mr. Bhaer. You've shown us how much you care. You never let your guard down, always do what's right. That's why you are king in our sight.
Didn't know how lost I was till I found a family. Thank you for your faith and love. It's all I ever dreamed of. You've taught us to be good and to love being good. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. And we will never, never be the same.
was saving up my money for a horse, but after I left, I missed everyone so much and couldn't stop thinking about poor Nat and him having nothing to call his own. So I thought I'd bring this peace offering and see if it'd be all right to come back.
A violin? For me? Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Thank
Jack,
you, Lord.
now our family is complete.
Welcome back.
Christmas family, fill us with your peace. May your kindness to us never cease. You set the example for others to see, and you are the reason we sing. You are the reason we sing.